Perhaps you've heard of Woomer pencils and you're wondering what they're all about. Maybe you're on the lookout for a Prismacolor alternative and you're considering giving Woomers a try. In today's video, we're going to dive into the Woomer set of 72 pencils, exploring their features, performance, and whether they live up to the hype. I'm Sarah, and this is Ink and Hue Colouring. Alrighty gang, welcome back to today's video where I will be reviewing the Woomer 72 set of coloured pencils. Now, I was contacted by Woomer a couple of weeks ago to review these on my channel, and of course I said yes. I love doing a review. So here I have the unboxed set in front of me with the plastic still on it. I've just taken it out of the mail. Alrighty, let's get this plastic off. Let's get into it. Okay, so here we go. So the Woomer set of pencils comes in a nice bright orange tin with a cute little logo there at the top corner. I like it. And with a sleeve over the top, just giving us a bit of information about the product. And on the back, we have a bit more information. So as you can see in the top left-hand corner, straight away, we have a little bit of a grammatical error. So it says 72 saturates colors. It is supposed to be saturated. However, that's okay. And I'm looking at the swatch chart too, and already I'm thinking about how dark all of the colours look, but I will tell you now they're not this dark. There's just a bit of an issue with the colour matching. So Woomer claims to have a soft core and to be break resistant and to provide bright and vibrant colours. So straight away I'm looking at this and you can see that these could potentially be a good Prismacolor alternative. So let's open her up. Take that sleeve off. Okay, we have a very, very bright box and you can see my ring light and my little camera in the reflection. That's how bright we are. I love it. And that's the back. So this is a plain orange tin. I really like pencils that come in a tin. Good storage option. Okay, so here are our bright and vibrant colours, and straight away I can see the lovely gold and the closed over ends of pencils. They look beautiful. So there are two layers in this case, and you just pinch the sides there to just lift it out. They are a little bit, I don't want to say flimsy, but because they're carrying the weight of 36 pencils on each side, you just got to be a bit delicate. And I'm pointing at this going, oh, there's one missing, but it's actually just hiding under the other pencils. There we go. So as I'm looking at this straight away, I'm like, oh, these remind me of polychromos. I think it's because of the gold text and things like that. So as you can see, we are in colour order. Now I'm just going to pick one up and show you. So we have the Woomer logo on one side in gold, which again, these are reminding me of the polys. And we have the name and number of the pencil, and those little crosses there, they are the light fastness grading. So every pencil has a different amount of crosses, which indicate how light fast they actually are. Now, I did receive some information on the light fast testing that Woomer have completed on these pencils. So they do go into great detail to let you know how light fast each colour is. And so already I'm seeing that we've got a good range of yellows and reds and blues, and the greens, I think just looking at them, I feel like we're more on the blue-green side. And you can see that we've got the closed end there, which I actually really like in terms of an aesthetic for looking at a pencil. However, it just means that you can't glue them together. And another good thing about these pencils is that the numbers are actually in colour order. So as the pencils are sitting in the tin here, they're not only in colour order, they're in number order, which I really like. Sometimes I get a bit iffy when it comes to the Prismacolors being out of order numerical wise. That's this little thing for me. And you can see here that we have the swatch chart in the middle of this sleeve here, which if you want to use a swatch chart, you're going to have to break open that sleeve and sacrifice that. And it also has the light fast information as well in there for you if you want to see what the little crosses mean. As much as I really, really love the gold and I'm very attracted to how beautiful these pencils are, they are a little bit hard to read on the camera, so it is a little bit difficult to show what the numbers actually are. And there's just more colours on the colour chart, but as you'll see shortly, I will be doing my own swatch. But yeah, you're welcome to bust that open if you want, but I'd probably want to keep mine in the sleeve because I'm just a packaging person. I like keeping the packaging. Yeah, so they're looking pretty nice. Okay, so I'm comparing them to a Prismacolor pencil here. I'm holding them up so you can see what I mean by the ends being different. And also, if you have a look at the size and the barrel and everything like that, they're pretty similar. The only thing that I'm not too happy with is how much they've just cut the tip of the pencil to fit it in the tin. It means that you have to sharpen it a bit more to get it to a sharp point, if that makes sense. So I did go through and sharpen the whole set before I swatched them. So first impressions are pretty good. I'm liking the way they look. I like the way they feel. And of course, I do all my swatches by hand. As you probably know, my Pinterest is not great. So yeah, I like to write it out and I like to use this dotted paper to just get even. It's like my own little Excel spreadsheet in a notepad. So of course the WP stands for Woomer pencils. Okay, and one thing that I will tell you that while I was swatching these out, just testing how they felt, they are definitely not break resistant. I had them unfortunately crumble everywhere and I was brushing the dust away, and if I pressed too hard they would snap, which usually does happen with me with the Prismas because I have such a death grip on the pencils. However, these were snapping a little bit more and I was getting a bit frustrated, so they definitely aren't break resistant. However, the good thing was that I didn't have issues with like entire sections falling out like you might sometimes do with the Prismas, say if you buy open stock and they've been dropped before and the core's just cracked. So with these, they are stronger in that way, but they are very crumbly. But so far, I'm loving how bright they are. I'm really liking their yellow section that they provide. Now we're going into some light pinks as well. And again, you can kind of see that crumble if you look closely there. And I think one of the things for me is getting used to the fact that, okay, so with Prismas, you have 150 pencils. However, I'm literally halving my choice. More than half, actually. So we're going from 150 down to 72. So of course, there's going to be some major gaps in terms of what I'm used to and the color selection that I'm used to. And also the names of things, trying to get used to that as well. But so far, they're coming out really bright and vibrant, and they are creamy. I will 100% give them that. They are definitely creamy, and especially this orange as well. This is really nice. The only thing I wish that they had was more of a variety of oranges. They do have that bright orange there. Is kind of the only orange that they have, and then you start moving into your reds and your yellows. So I certainly feel like I would like more oranges. But as I'm swatching these out, I am noticing too that they are behaving very similar to the Prismacolor pencils, as I've said before. So already I'm starting to think that these are a great alternative, especially if there's budget considerations for you. So I think with your Prismacolor pencils, and I'm talking Australian dollars here, you're looking at maybe about between $250 and $300 Australian. However, the Woomers they retail around $75 to $80 depending on where you're purchasing them from. Now, you can purchase them from Amazon, and I will put the links in the description. So already I'm thinking these are a great alternative if budget is a thing for you. A couple of them are a little bit scratchy, but I feel like the Prismas also do that as well. So I feel like it's just something that comes with pencil sets. And there are a couple of colours here too that I feel like are just doubling up, and I think we could have sacrificed maybe an extra red or a yellow here and there to perhaps add to the orange collection, if that makes sense. But again, I feel like you're going to get that with every pencil set. I don't think you're going to avoid that as such. And even before I'm doing a comparison chart between the Prismas and the Woomers, I'm already looking at some colours and I'm recalling my favourite Prismas that do come to mind, which is really good. And yeah, I'm wishing I didn't write WP between every single row here because I'm taking up a lot of space. And interestingly enough, there are about half a dozen pencils here that are the exact same shade and the exact same name. You almost couldn't tell what the difference is. So, for example, there is a Sunburst yellow, which is an exact match. There is an orange, which is an exact match in every single way, which I think is great. Like, it's going to help us remember what's what. So all my color combination charts are in Prisma language, which is why I will be doing a Prismacolor comparison chart later on, which you will see. But yeah, there's some which are just so the same in every way that I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if there's other pencil brands that are the same. If there are, let me know in the comments. Do you have other pencil sets where they are an exact match in color and name and in every way? I would love to know because I'm curious as to why. Because personally, I would think, is that like a copyright thing that you can't do that? Or I don't know. Yeah, so with these purples here, I'm noticing that there are lots of similarities in their shades. And I feel like we could have used some of these maybe for different types of purples and different shades of purple. So I would like to see maybe more of a orchid color or more warm purples instead of cool purples, if that makes sense. Because I feel like in the Prismacolor range, even though compared to the greens and the yellows and the oranges, the purples and the Prismacolors are quite limited. I really like the variety of purple that you get. And here we're just not getting a lot. So you can see that Manganese violet and the light violet are so similar, and I feel like we've just sacrificed a pencil for that where we could have allocated that to an orange, like I was saying earlier. Now this color here and the next one are literally an exact match to yellow, chartreuse, and chartreuse. I think they're just called a little bit different. So yeah, we've got a light green. It's got chartreuse and cadmium lemon yellow and the chartreuse. And there were some colors too where as I was swatching them, they were kind of in between Prisma shades. So when I was swatching them in comparison to try and compare them and see which one they'd go against, I could literally put them to either or find a space for them in the middle of some Prisma shades. So this leaf green is very similar to spring green in the Prismacolor range, yet it's more blue than yellow, if that makes sense. So it's like it could really go with anything. And again, with these greens, as nice as they are, I feel like we don't have a great variety in yellow greens and we don't have muted greens either. And I feel like that goes for all the colors here. We don't have a lot of muted colors, which is fine if you just want to do bright stuff. So that is more than fine. I don't feel like you'd be lacking in any way. However, like I was saying, I think it's just because what I'm used to. And so therefore, when there's a number of pencils that you're used to, when you suddenly go from 150 to 72, you're like, whoa, okay. But there are some colors that I really like in this range. I really do like the cadmium lemon yellow and the chartreuse color, and I also really like their green range as well. As limited as it is, I still really like it. And another one that I feel a bit sad about not having a lot of was the greys, because I'm so used to having, 15 greys in the Prisma colors, especially all your French greys and all that when we got to doing the greys here, I was like, okay. But again, I feel like that the greys here are in proportion to the amount of pencils that we have. So far, everything's looking pretty good. I'm mostly happy with how everything's swatching, bar all the crumbliness and the fact that they are breaking as I'm applying them. But again, I am happy with the fact that I don't have entire chunks of breakage happening here, which is really good. And I forgot one there, so just adding a cheeky one at the bottom. Is it going to do my head in that they're not all completely straight? Yeah, probably. Oh dear. I like to set them out so there's an even amount of rows and columns and things like that. And yeah, there's a couple that I forgot, but that's okay. This Cobalt Turquoise and the one below it, I really like. They're nice. Beautiful colors. Alrighty, and here we have I'm starting my comparison chart here. Now you can see already the match these have, especially when we're looking at the orange, dark chrome yellow, and the sunburst yellow. Yeah, we're looking at some pretty good matches here. So like I was saying, I'm really happy with the yellows. And I think overall, I think in the Woomers, I was able to match 55-ish pencils to the Prismas, which is actually really great. The ones that I wasn't able to match would be that I just could not find anything that was pretty close. And I started off, when I was swatching them, I was looking for an exact super match and I would like scrutinize it to the T. However, as I went through, I'm like, look, if you squint and they're the same, then it's the same. And there was only a couple that after I swatched them, I was like, oh, maybe that is a little bit different. But the reds also have some great matches as well, which is good. And there I am. You can see all my swatching going like a mad scientist. So I did go a bit cross-eyed because there were a couple of reds where it could have been 2 or 3 options. So I've just tried to pick the most. I've just tried to eyeball it. And if I change my mind later on. So there is my completed set. I've got 4 pages which I have swatched. And I've also done this because it's going to help me choose my colour palette for the page that I'll be colouring very soon in Millie Marotta's colouring book. One of them anyway. So super happy with that. Okay, so now we are in Millie's Tropical Escape or something I think it's called, and we're working on this Jellyfish page today. Now I'm going to put them to the test. Let's see how they go. Let's see if they can pass the Sarah brightness mushiness test. I'm already thinking that they will, and I'm already getting really excited about this, so starting off with some purples in the center. Okay, so just in summary so far, so the cons are they are a little bit crumbly. There is a typo on the box sleeve. Some of the colours have a lack of variety. Some colours are identical. There is also a bit of a strong chemical smell when you open the box for the very first time. And you have to break the sleeve to use the swatch chart. But the positives, they're a lovely design. They are well packaged. The light-fast information is extremely thorough. They're easy to sharpen without breaking them when you sharpen them. There are lots of Prisma matches. So like I said before, there's about 55 matches. Their mid-tones has a wonderful range. And the colours are super vibrant. And they're also a great price point. And the numbers are in colour order. So yeah, look, we've definitely got some improvements. However, I think overall, I'd definitely rate these a 7 or 8 out of 10, to be honest. And I definitely think I'll be using them again. I just would like some lighter colours in there too. So like some super light colours. I feel like at this point I'm missing the greyed lavender and the grey green light and things like that. I would just like some super light colours, but I'm wondering if they might have a pastel set that's coming out. But again, like 10 out of 10 on the mid-tones, 10 out of 10 for super vibrant colours. So if you want to colour in ocean theme or magical jungle or some Millie stuff and be super vibrant about it, then yes, you can 110% achieve that. And I'm also really liking the way that these turn out on the Millie paper. They are behaving the same way as the Prismacolor pencils, which is great. There are just a couple of combinations that potentially aren't as smushy. I feel like there's some, especially this one that I'm completing right now, that I have to work harder to blend them and get it quite seamless. Whereas with the Prismas, I feel like I don't have to work as hard. But I think in comparison to other pencils, they do a really good job because I know that Prismas are, cream of the crop when it comes to smushiness. For me, they are anyway. So I don't think that Woomer have open stock at the minute, so I am just being mindful of that. So I will definitely be colouring with these again. However, they're not going to be a pencil set that I use all the time because otherwise I'm just going to have to replace them quite frequently and get like a whole set, which is doable with their price point. However, I'm not really wanting to purchase a whole set at one time. So that's just something that I'm keeping in mind for myself. And if you guys want to see more of these pencils in color alongs, etc., coloring tutorials, let me know in the comments and I can certainly include them on regular rotation. I'm more than happy to do that for you guys. And I really enjoyed coloring with these two. It was just good to give my Prismas a bit of a break because I, burn through them so much, as you would know. So it was nice just to use another brand and just my Prismas can go nice for a little bit. Now you can see here the blend between these greens and this kind of, I want to say peacock green, but that's a Prismacolor reference. So I forget what color this is. It's like a cobalt turquoisey color. I do have to work a little bit harder to blend these colors together, where in the Prismas, I don't have an issue. But that's okay. It still works out really well. And I think if you're a fan of Millie's books, then these pencils are perfect for that. And I will pop all the pencils that I have used today in the description box below. I did film the pencils that I was using. However, I cannot find the film for the life of me. There's a dozen or so quick ones that I just filmed for like some B-roll shots and things like that, and I cannot find them. They are gone. So I did film them, so I'm very sorry that that they're gone. But however, yeah, I'll pop them in the description if you are interested. Like I was saying before, though, it is really, really hard to see on the screen the text of the pencil because it is kind of covered over by the shininess of the gold, which it looks really pretty in person, but yeah, on the screen it's a little bit hard to see. So here I'm just trying to mush them over as much as I can. And I've added a few more layers, so we've got some beautiful pinks and that orange combination. Oh my goodness, that orange combination was so nice. Those oranges and yellows were so creamy. Yeah, so they are really nice to work with, albeit just being a little bit crumbly. Not a little bit, a lot, but you might be okay with that, and you might be someone that doesn't press as hard as I do, so maybe you won't find that being as much of an issue. And as well, if you're interested in these color pencils, you can get 12% off through myself, and I will leave details in the description. I will also leave a pinned comment once I have that information for you if you would like to receive 12% off, and I'll also put the link on Amazon. And as you know, I am very keen to be featuring more of Millie's work on my channel, so I'm very glad today to be featuring one of Millie's pages. I was weighing up a couple of other books, but I thought that Millie's artwork deserved to be first and foremost in today's video. So thanks to Millie for some beautiful artwork and designs. I adore these jellyfish. I really enjoyed colouring this. This was a really quick page for me. I had so much fun with it, especially because, as you'll see in a minute, I just go to town with the gel pens and had the time of my life. So I really enjoyed swatching these pencils and playing with them and seeing how they work. So thank you so much to Woomer for providing me with these pencils, even though there are a couple of little things. I think overall, these are really great, and these are a great dupe/alternative to Prismacolor pencils. Again, they're about half the price. But yeah, you will be, if you are used to 150 colours, like I was saying, and you're going down to 72, you will miss the colour variety. But if you're working in super bright stuff like Millie's, it's achievable. You can make it work, I promise. There were a couple of colours that I noticed that, like, I'm not talking about this green in particular, but there were a couple of colours that rather than blend together, one would just layer over the top and you wouldn't really see the other colour come through. I just can't remember what one exactly it was, and as I'm looking at this, they all seem pretty fine. It may have been the purple, but there was certainly one colour that just didn't blend. It just like slapped over the top and I was like, But it was only like one. So I'm not too worried about it. So as you can see, yeah, we do have a bit of crumble there, but I feel like given their vibrancy, I'm willing to work with that. Simple brush off does the job. The only other thing, like with Prisms, because they do have a soft core, they will wear down quite quickly compared to other pencils, but I feel like that's just going to happen no matter what. If they're a soft core, it's just going to happen. It's not like polychromos where they're a bit harder and they can last a little bit longer. And certainly if you colour the way that I do, that's going to happen as well. Whereas if you're more into your layering and things like that and you press lighter, then you're not going to burn through them as quickly. But I think I've just accepted the fact that this is how I colour and I'm going to wear down my pencils quicker and I'm okay with that. I've accepted that. I've accepted the monetary sacrifice of that. And yeah, like I was saying before, the only issue with these, because you can't buy them open stock, is that I'm just going to have to be careful about not burning them down too quickly, because then I'm going to be very extremely limited in the colours that I can use. I'm really loving these greens. Even though I feel like I would like some muted greens, I feel that there are some magical jungle pages that could certainly go well with these pencils in future. Alrighty, as you can see, I've started to add some gel pen work. Now, I love combining my pencils with gel pen, and I feel like the Woomer pencils are a perfect match as well because they are so bright and vibrant. They certainly don't look washed out when I start adding the gel pen, which is a huge win for me, especially in Millie's books, because it's one of my favourite things to do is combine the two mediums together. So super happy about that. They passed that test for me as well. And to me, as I'm looking at it, the purples look a little bit scratchy, but like in terms of the pencils. However, I feel that I have the same with some colours in the Prisma range as well. Some of the blues are a bit scratchy, so I feel like you're just going to get that. It's just making sure that the whole set isn't scratchy is the thing. And to be quite honest, if someone else had completed this page and if I were to look at it and, you know, say if someone wiped my memory and said, do you think this is Prisma or Woomer? I honestly would have a hard time trying to tell the difference with this page, to be honest, which I think is a huge positive. But yeah, I do think that they need to work on their packaging. Just with the break resistant claim, they're not break resistant. And I think just like with the grammar a little bit, that needs to be fixed as well. But I'm sure they will. But, you know, I'm not there for the grammar. I'm there for the pencils. I mean, they asked for an honest review, so this is my honest review. So there you go. If I notice something that could be tweaked a little bit, I'm going to say it because it's just how it is. Overall, I would 100% give these an 8 out of 10. I would dock 1 point for the crumbliness and dock the other point for just the colour variety. But again, it's a 72 pencil set, so what are you going to do? So yeah, I think these are really good. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, you can find more information on these Woomer pencils in the description below. Here is the completed page. As you can see, bright and vibrant and absolutely lovely. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it has provided a bit more clarity on the Woomer pencils and it has helped you make a decision to see as to whether these are right for you. So thanks so much for watching today, guys. I will see you in the next video. Love yous. Bye for now.